Insight-Teerabhat, thank you for joining the whole conference as well. We really appreciate it. How to teach philosophy, term papers, writing in the age of large language models. Thank you.
I will give two presentations. The first, I aim to end within the first 2 minutes. So if you get my point, you can just continue with your break. Because my second presentation will just be a poorly thought out elaboration of the first. My time starts now. My goal is to connect literature on Nietzschean philosophy of education to the literature on how to teach writing in the age of large language models. I will focus on his idea that connect time and education together. Nietzsche criticized that we are too hasty. We want to finish education as soon as possible according to our made-up schedule, instead of waiting for our students to be educated. Many can relate to this experience where you have to present your paper when you're not ready, right? This is like cooking chicken by timing instead of doneness. It's a terrible, terrible idea. It will often lead to cramp, vomit, tear, praying to God to end your life on the toilet. And that's just academic stuff to know what you get when you eat raw chicken. The literature on writing pedagogy in the age of LLM concur, which is surprisingly for philosophy, right? Concur that the problem is hastiness. They advise us to gradually train our students step by step. However, by utilizing Nietzschean insight, I will demonstrate that they too are hasty. They want this to end within a single course, while I hypothesize that it would take many courses, maybe even an entire program, to properly educate our students. So, rather than say that their time is done and be done with them, which is a good way, by the way, to make our students feel that I should be done with academic world now. Why wouldn't you, right? Because the academic world promises us that you can take your time to think things through, but your teacher has to submit grade, so you have to submit as well, which is weird, yeah? Speaking of which, how is my time? Still have time? Good, good. Okay, that ends my first presentation. That's it. Now, to my second presentation. Hello everyone, my name is Win. It just occurred to me this morning on the bus here that I'm dressing quite like Winnie the Pooh today, you know, red shirt and yellow pants. Anyway, even though my name is Win, I'm not here to win. As you probably know, I'm here to present a very raw idea to you as a springboard for you to discuss with me, to teach me even. So you must have a lot of insight that I can categorize, that I can steal, that I can learn from. So please feel free to teach me today and tomorrow as well. I promise you that the second presentation will be much, much slower. Okay. So, hello? Okay. So, LLMs challenge traditional pedagogy. This is old news. I don't have to tell you about this, right? Everyone knows that it challenges traditional writing pedagogy. And as I said, the consensus is the traditional pedagogy is too hasty. We want to be done with this in a single course. For example, introduction to philosophy course, or maybe introduction to writing course, or maybe thesis writing, something like that. A single course is probably too hasty, yeah? And even worse, a lot of time we don't really teach, we just assign, yeah? So if you want to teach in air quote, student to write a proper philosophy paper, a lot of teacher will simply just assign you to go and read and write that paper, which is quite hefty, yeah? The consensus, surprising again, as I said, is that the answer is partly to scaffold. What is scaffold? This is important as a concept. Please pay attention to this concept. To scaffold is to divide the task into many sub-tasks, and each sub or mini task is a learning in itself and a process that the upshot is, of course, the finished product, the paper itself. For example, I will use this. I'm quite big on prop. Let's say that this is our student. Let's name them Candy. It is possible, of course, to assign Candy to open the cap, to pop the cap of this bottle from the ground up. Okay, just no pun intended, just happy accident. It is possible to assign her to do that, but quite difficult, right? Candy has to jump from the ground up to the cap. Not easy thing to do. Much easier if we say we scaffold her. For Thai audience, scaffold is nang ran. So instead of from the ground up, they can go here first, then go here, and maybe go here, and maybe, thank you very much, maybe even here, right? This is much closer to the cap. This is much easier for our student to do. No. So that is the metaphor. What would be the real thing to do in the writing class? Well, we know that to write a proper paper, you have to do literature review well, yeah? But instead of assigning, go write literature review on, I don't know, Kantian ethics, which is quite mind-boggling as a student, right, to do that. We can say, part of, not the whole, but part of literature review is identifying the similarity within the literature. So first, let's do that. Let's identify the similarity among the literature on Kantian ethics. And after you do that, maybe we can learn how to identify the contrast, identify the difference among the literature. When we do this, we scaffold the literature review process. Thank you. So you can do literature review despite the fact that you don't do it all at once. You can focus on one particular skill, one particular task to learn the process. This is the consensus for the whole thing. Quite easy to understand. But as I said, this is quite cost-based level solution, and I have issue with that. I will problematize that in the later. Why cost-based level is not enough? Well, let's be honest. Our students can't really write real paper, right? I mean no offense, but what they write is not actually paper in the sense that we write paper, because real paper, of course, is a communication tool that we use to discuss our idea with the expert, with the academic world, and you will be insane to expect your student to do that, yeah? So no one expects the bare minimum of writing academic paper among the grad, unfortunately, even the graduate student, to really communicate with the academic world at large. Student term paper is more like a training tool. We use them to train our students in hope that one day they can write proper academic paper. And that is fine. Pre-LLMs, that is fine. But in the age of AI, it's no longer the case. Why? Well, because LLMs can bullshit low quality paper, right? They can produce seemingly good enough paper, seemingly good enough to the degree that, yeah, maybe better than our student paper. And it will be mind-boggling to them. Why should they spend hours, days reading through difficult texts, trying to get things right, trying to come up with counter example, whatever, just to, get the same results as LLM. I posit that we are fine with this because we confine it to one course. Because we think, you go teach students how to write paper. Then when they come to my class, I will just assign them. That is too fast. Again, it's cooking based on time, not doneness. And occasionally you will get good chicken, but a lot of time you will be reduced to tear after reading paper, right? So, what my solution? My solution is Nietzschean. He has this beautiful metaphor of, not metaphor, but analogy of saying that a lot of people, when they say they can dance, they actually can't. For example, look at me. Can I dance? No. Well, in certain sense, yes, I can, but no, I can't actually dance, right? Because I have no idea why I move that way. I just move because I see some similar move in television before. I have no idea how to dance. I have no meaning, no intention behind that. To really dance, you have to really start from the basic according to nature and climb up, training yourself, mimicking your teacher before becoming a master. So, accept that is my main insight right now. Accept that students cannot really write, but in case you have qualm with my suggestion, I will provide some not particularly strong argument, but I think it's acceptable. Firstly, you must experience your student misidentify discipline. Yeah, a lot of time when you assign them to write a paper, they will write some history paper instead of philosophy paper. And I'm not talking about the borderline, for example, how Hegel influenced Marx in such and such. Well, that is fine to me. That is fine. What I'm saying about is, what caused World War II. That is not philosophy paper, right? That is history paper. A lot of time they will write in political science or maybe psychology or sociology. You must have experienced something like this before. Why? I would say because they can't even identify what is the discipline that we are trying. And I'm fine with mixing the discipline. But if I want to make my heart healthier by lifting weight instead of doing cardio, my doctor will kill me, right? It's missed the point. My second argument is a lot of time they will come up with trivial topics. And by trivial, I'm not saying that I know the good one, but trivial in the academic sense. They will come up with something like, I don't know, like, have anyone ever questioned whether determinism means we can't have free will? Of course, we have asked that for years and years, right? And that is academically trivial. But why did they ask that? Because just after a few weeks of learning metaphysics, we asked them, write a metaphysical paper. That's too soon. That's too fast. Lastly, a lot of our students will misplace their effort. Instead of, focusing on the research, focusing on thinking through things through, instead of coming up with counter argument, what they tend to do is ask how many pages, word count, citation style, which is a fine question if that is just minor question, but a lot of time that is their main concern, right? So I hypothesize that if you take more time and if you take role model, maybe more independent study, more in-depth tutoring with teacher that you want to work with or something like that. So in case you wonder which Nietzschean text I'm referring to, these three are the main one. I don't have real conclusion right now, just that each course should be more of scaffolding process. Maybe we are too soon from initiating them from lay people to participant to researcher. Maybe we should spend more time turning them into our assistant. Maybe let them read some text and then come to you and say, oh, I see you research on this as well, but why don't you cite this? Am I getting this right? Am I understanding the text correctly? Maybe that would be better. Again, my name is Vin, and you've been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Win. Any question or comment? We also have a formal commentary coming soon as well. Okay, let's go to the commentator. Thank you, Win.